So, yo, man, 2 cents to change the podcast, episode 11. Once again, it's your boy, C.O. McLean, and
it's your boy, Melly Mel.
know
You
it
already
is,
know.
man. We got a great live show prepared for y'all, man. Shout out to all our YouTubers that been on YouTube chiming in. We like the views on there. Shout out to everybody on TikTok that's been TikToking with us on there. You know what I mean? Shout out to Instagram. Instagram been on there doing their thing. I got you now. I see you. And you know, man, we were just going to keep this thing going. We started from the bottom. And we coming up. We ain't gonna say we here yet. We started from the bottom. So, yeah, man, let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it, man. What we got? First topic.
All right, so we're gonna get this out the way. The whole Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers. I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers right now, he sucks. Sit down. I don't really have too much to say about him. It's a long, drawn out saga. And it ain't really like the Steelers. Yo, y'all had Russ Wilson and the other young boy. So you had somebody to be the quarterback. I mean, the whole Aaron Rodgers thing is like, I feel like it's just a setback for them, honestly. Steelers, y'all collapsed at the end of the year, but y'all still was good. Aaron Rodgers, at this point, I mean, he's not being, like, conducive to winning. So, I mean,
the last couple of years with Aaron Rodgers, you know, in the Jets, it was a catastrophe. It was an experiment gone wrong. Over there on the Jets. And then he came onto the Jets when they were a phenomenal team. And all they needed was, per se, a quarterback to get him over the hump, which they thought Aaron Rodgers was going to be able to do. But unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way. Hey, Moomy, Alea joined. I think 10. Hold on. Oh, no. Okay. So that happened. You know, Steelers haven't been quarterback-wise since Ben Roethlisberger was there, obviously. They had a chance to get Shador Sanders. They missed out on the opportunity. Like, you go get Shador. Shador is there. You need a quarterback. Go get Shador. They was banking on Rodgers. And, you know, seemingly he's playing cat and mouse with them. He's been throwing, I guess, balls to DJ Metcalf. So that was seemingly giving them hints on him being with the Steelers. But, you know, the guy's, 42, be 43 years old. I mean, how much more do he have left in the tank, you know, as a quarterback? You know, I just think Aaron Rodgers is going off of his name and not his skill set at this point.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know what the Steelers is doing. You know, Tom Copp, what's his name? The coach, what's the coach name again? Tom, what's his name? Steelers coach, yeah.
Damn.
Shit.
Black dude, I forgot his name. At the
Tom's. Who's in the chat? Give me Steelers coach name. You know, but I can't. It's on the top of my head, but I can't remember the name. But yeah, so. And he's been, you know, Tomlin. Yeah, he's the most winningest coach in, you know, Steelers history, obviously. And he's been making the playoffs every year since he's been there. This is going to be a tough road for the Steelers if they don't get a quarterback. They need a quarterback. They are going on, I guess, I don't really know the quarterback depth chart that they have over there, but it's lousy. They was talking about getting Cousins. That's how bad it was getting. They were talking about getting Cousins, and Cousins was lousy, and Falcons got benched. So it's going to be tough to see what Steelers are going to do at that quarterback position. Is Aaron Rodgers the key? Is he? We don't know. We don't know, you know. But I don't think that's a feasible fit for Steelers right now. But that's my 2 cents in changing it.
All right, so on to this B-ball, the real deal. Let's start it off with, you know, OKC. They up 3-1. I mean, you know, looking sharp. That was a good game yesterday. There's a lot of different segues we have with that. So I'll start with just analysis of the game. Despite Ant-Man not really showing up, I mean, especially in the first half.
13 shots, horrible.
Yeah, Minnesota. They stayed with it. It was a tight game, and it's like it's promising because they, you know, with Shai and everybody else playing well, and then they only lose by 2. It's promising from a standpoint of just like, yo, we could compete with them, but you're down 3-1 now, going back to OKC. So I think it's a wrap. Honestly, they needed that game.
They sure did.
I think they'll be kicking themselves at the end of the season, like, yo, damn, like we really messed up. But I think that I got OKC in 5.
Yeah, I think, and OKC and Nelson said this series is over. I agree with
Yeah,
you, Nell. This series is over. It's going back to OKC. OKC is one of the loudest arenas to play in. You got the MVP, Shai Gilgeous, just dropped 40 on your head on your home court. Anthony Edwards only taking 13 shots. Like, bro, if you are supposedly the face of the league or that guy, there's no way you could have performances like that. That hinders
this late
your
too. This late in the game, like this is conference
this
finals.
conference finals. Yeah, you can't have no lapses like that in your acceleration towards being the face of the league and towards being, a great or superstar player, which we get into later. I just think that is a bad look for Anthony Edwards because of the amount of trash talk he talks, right? He's bravado. He's a bravado guy. He talks his trash. He almost seemingly backs it up a lot of times, but you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the current MVP, whooping on your ass right now. So it's going to be tough for them to win this next game. If they can win this next game, we may push it to 7, but this is a tough task. Tough task, and I think OKC. I think that I'm looking at this team. They're going to win a chip. They got a great team, top to bottom. They got a great bench. Caruso is that guy who won a championship, so he has that pedigree. And they haven't won a championship since what 19, I think 76 and 79.
As the Seattle Supersonics.
Seattle Supersonics. You know what I'm saying? So that's a huge drought, but I think they're going to break that drought this year. I don't really see no team in the East, whether it's the Knicks or Pacers, beating OKC because of their depth and because of the hype that they have in their defense. They're the number 1 ranked defense, not only in the regular season, but in its playoffs as well. They just tough to beat, man. Holmgren is coming into his form. Hartenstein is playing good. Obviously, Shai is doing what he do. You got Gord over there. You got Williams over there. Like, bruh, Caruso.
Only team that really had a chance was Denver because of the Joker matchup. They had that matchup.
Right.
Outside of that, they could cover everything else.
Right. And I think if Aaron Gordon don't get injured, Denver could have won that game 7. If Aaron Gordon didn't get injured, because I had Denver. Obviously, I picked either Lakers or Clippers to go to the chip, but then once that faded, I was like, oh, Denver got a good shot now. Aaron Gordon went out. It was like, yo, that's over with Aaron Gordon. And then now OKC. I think that was the test for OKC to be like, okay, we got past Denver with Jokic. Yeah, we can take this. We can take this. So shout out to OKC, man. They're looking like a strong team this year to win a chip. So shout out to OKC.
And so I must pose a question with this. Do you think that Shai is now better than Ant-Man? Like, do you feel that way?
I mean, in right now, I would give the edge to Shai Gilgeous. Absolutely. Right now. I mean, if you look at it, obviously Shai Gilgeous, the MVP of the league. Anthony Edwards is what, 23? I think Shai's what, like 26?
26, yes.
About 3 years older. So they both came in the league at what? Let me see when they came in.
I think it probably might have been the same age. Like, I think Shai came in at like 19.
Yeah.
I think he only did 1 year in Kentucky, I think.
Yeah. So as far as hold on, my bad. As far as let me see, NBA, so Edwards been in the league for 5 years. Shai Gilgeous 7 years. So Shai got 2 years over him as far as league wise is concerned.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at it right now, I will have to give the edge to Shai. And I got some stats to I'll pull up some stats. I gotta have my stats to back it up. So this is their career head-to-head stats. All right. So it's their career. So obviously the NBA seasons, Shai played 7 and Edwards 5. And their NBA first team, and we just talking about, they head-to-head. Shai Gilgeous got 3 NBA All First teams, and Anthony Edwards got none so far. But all NBA selections, Anthony Edwards got 2, Shai Gilgeous got 3. Scoring leaders, Shai Gilgeous is 1 up on Anthony, he got 1. Anthony Edwards got 0. Steals leader, Shai Gilgeous got 1 and 0.
Oh yeah, 10 ready to be added. Request to join it, 10.
Okay. Let me get 10 up in there. Okay, there you go. Boom. So this is the most comparable one, right? So if you go by, this is NBA regular season stats, their stats per game, right? Mm-hmm. And this is where it's mind blowing. So Shai Gilgeous got Anthony Edwards beat in every category. What up, 10?
What's good, man? How y'all feeling?
Welcome to the pod. So right now we talking about Shai Gilgeous and Anthony Edwards and who is the better player. So I'm gonna run through these stats right quick and I'm gonna give you the floor, 10. So points per game right now, Anthony, and this is head-to-head season stats. Anthony Edwards 23.9, Shai Gilgeous 24. Rebounds, Anthony got him 5 rebounds, 5.3. Shai Gilgeous 4.8. Assists, Shai got him an assist 5-4. Steals, and Shai Gilgeous got him by percentage point 1.4 to Anthony Edwards 1.3. Block, Shai Gilgeous got him 0.8, 0.6. So if you go about stats right now, head-to-head comparable, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a better player right now than Ant Edwards. But trajectory-wise, Ant Edwards is projected to be a better player than Shai. But right now, I got to give it to Shai. What do you think, Tim? Now you good.
About who you think is better between Shai Gilgeous or Ant-Man?
Yo, that's a tough call because they let Gilgeous get away with a lot more than they let other players get away with. And I feel like Edwards has to carry the load for his team more so than Alexander. But you kind of got to go SGA on some real. You really can't go SGA. I want to go Edwards, but you really got to go SGA. I want to go Edwards, though, but I got to go SGA. I really don't like that they let the Thunder play aggressive physical defense and they call bullshit on the other end for SGA, too. So that bothers me a lot, but you got to go SGA for real.
Hey, 10. So listen, 10, I know you smoky, but we ain't going to be on TikTok with that. They going to ban us.
You just on TikTok, too?
Yeah, we put it on TikTok and YouTube and all that. We put it on all types of platforms.
My bad.
Disclaimer.
We good.
All right.
But I agree with y'all as far as the SGA right now. But we got the Pacers head in the building. So let's get into this mixing Pacers, man. Let's get into this mixing Pacers because he on here, so we gonna jump into that, man. Yeah. So the Pacers winning tonight. Like, what's good?
Yo, honestly, I think we got it tonight. I went to Game 3. I drove out there.
I know, and they lost. That's why I was laughing at your ass. He went all the way to Indianapolis. They lost.
Listen, I bought the tickets before I knew that we would be up 2 games. I didn't expect us to be up 2-0. So I had a feeling like I was telling my peoples, I was like, yo, the Knicks gonna come out desperate. They're not no slouches, you feel me? I felt like y'all were gonna get Game 3, yo, for real. In that fashion, we should have won Game 3, but I don't know. Scott Foster started cooking, but we still had a chance to win. So I can't really blame the refs, even though Scott Foster did his big one in that third quarter and shit. It was some horrible. Yo, it was calls. Halliburton didn't even touch homie, and it was some bullshit calls, yo. Nasty. But once I see Scott Foster was the head ref, I already knew what time it was, yo. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta see what's their record against Scott Foster.
Yo, they say he's like they call him the extender. They say anytime he comes in, it's to extend the series and shit.
Yeah, Scott Foster be on a lot of. I know Chris Paul. Yeah, really don't like Scott Foster.
Chris Paul hates Scott Foster.
Scott Foster.
Yeah,
I hear that.
he's
My thing,
notorious.
you know me, bro. I hate the Knicks. I hate the Knicks.
We know.
But it's like
We know.
at one point, will 20-point comebacks not be a comeback, right? You got to keep coming back to try to win.
Yeah.
I don't see this game tonight. I don't see Knicks winning this game. Honestly, I think it's they're gonna go up 3-1 and it's out of here. I just think, and it's not because of the Knicks. I'm gonna let you go after this, Mel. It's not because of the Knicks. It's because of Tom Thibodeau, bro. He doesn't utilize his bench like that. Like utilize some guys to give some guys some rest. Because these guys gotta come back from these 20-point leads. And aside from playing Mikal Bridges 58,000 minutes a game, Karl Anthony Towns, all these guys playing these extended minutes, bro, that wear and tears on your body. Plus practices that they gotta play. So at one point, do they get like, yo, bro, I'm tired. So like I can't keep doing this shit. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that Knicks is up out of here tonight. Well, not because they're gonna lose tonight, but they up out of here for the series. And that's not because I hate the Knicks year, but I'm a realist as well. If they had a better team, I'm like, yo, but Pacers got a fucking incredible team. The bottom.
Yeah. I mean, Pacers team is good. I just think that I don't know. I got the Knicks be tying it up tonight, man, and then we're gonna win Game 5 and push it back to Indy Game 6. Put them down to me too.
Okay.
The reason why I think the Knicks gonna win tonight is because I think that Brunson, Cat. I feel like Cat gonna have another big game, and Pacers can't do nothing with Cat. I think the Knicks gotta understand this is playoffs. You gotta utilize the matchups, and that's a matchup that's hard for Indy. And you gotta play like Brunson is the dude, but you gotta adjust. You gotta play through Towns because he has an advantage. So I see the Knicks having a different approach, and that's why I see us winning this game easier tonight.
You can't count on Towns like that, bro. Playoff Towns, he's good for 1-2 games in a series. But if you gotta, what has he shown you otherwise, yo? When is Karl Anthony Towns showing you
he's
can
a
consistently rely on him?
He had 35 in the first game, and he had 20. I think he had 20 and something in game 2, and that's with only playing 20 something minutes. And then 20, he's been getting 20 pieces.
Yeah, that's cool, bro. That's cool. Those numbers. He wasn't getting those points in the fourth quarter game 1 when you needed him to. That shit, all those numbers, I don't care about numbers, bro. Did you win or didn't you win? Your numbers only mean something when you win because you could get he's going to get his numbers. He's going to get his numbers. Is it impactful numbers? You know what I'm saying? So is it a number when you need it to be a number? That's the thing, yo.
Look, think about it. In the fourth quarter in game 1, remember, the Knicks, Brunson was dominating. He did miss a free throw, but Brunson was dominating the game. And that's kind of what people say, like, it's no problem with him dominating the game, but if Towns got 35 and he's not touching the rock like that in the fourth quarter, if he was touching the rock, he has 40-something.
Look at game 2, yo. He's not giving you no 40-something, yo. Look at game 2, bro. He was tired by the fourth quarter. He got a wide open look at a 3. You hit all these threes, all this bullshit until it means something. Now it means something. Now it means something. These zesty ass celebrations and shit. It means something. And he showed you this in his past, bro. He showed you this in his past. That's why him and Jimmy Butler got into it, because he's soft.
See, I think the Knicks as a team got more talented players than the Pacers, but Pacers obviously got a better team. But I agree with Mel. If Towns can win that matchup against Miles, Knicks got a good chance, like a great chance, because it showed in that fourth quarter. He had put up 20-some points in that fourth quarter. They had nothing for him. He was going to the hole, shooting threes. He just played like a man on a mission. If Towns could play like that, I give Knicks a shot. But like you said, Tim, you can't count on Towns, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to count on Towns to do that every game. I don't see it. I don't see it. So that's why I think they're up out of here tonight.
Yeah. I'm
I mean,
hoping, man. They're a tough team. They're a tough team. They get some bullshit, though. They get a lot. They get a lot of love from the refs, though, man. I ain't gonna lie, yo. Every year, the past 2 years, yo. Look at that game against the Sixers last year when y'all
I know you're not.
y'all mug Maxey, and then they come out the next day and say, "Oh, we missed 3 foul calls on Maxey just on that one play,"
Yeah, I
right?
hate when they do
And then against
that dumb shit.
the
Yeah.
Pistons, the Pistons this year, yo, the Pistons was giving it to y'all, yo. I'm telling you, yo, the Pistons would have
Nah,
gave it to y'all if they would have gave that foul call to, and they come back the same thing. Oh, we missed the foul call on the game winner. Know what I'm saying? Y'all was
because
up
that
one,
was
and
a
it was a
cheap
3-point.
ass foul that Tim Hardaway tried to get. That's not
Nah,
basketball.
they missed
And
they
Brunson get bumped every play.
ah
Yo,
don't bring
niggas be
Brunson up, bro.
bumping
I
Brunson
swear to
all
God, do not
day.
bring Brunson up, bro. Because
Brunson
Brunson is
gets bumped. So,
bro.
yo, that act
Brunson will
like
beat
he's Shaq.
somebody.
The nigga's
Brunson will
6 feet.
Bro, Brunson will beat somebody and then jump back into them and lay up the ball for a bullshit ass call. Bro,
He
there's a clip that
he
went
don't even get all them calls, though.
bro,
He
yeah,
don't
but
get all of
he gets
those.
calls that ain't calls. He's
I mean, that's
he's
Yo,
a
modern
flop
NBA.
artist.
That's modern NBA ball now. Like a lot of these guys, they react to the fouls, right? They go into somebody to get
Nah,
called fouls, and the
Brunson is
refs see it,
flopping
like, oh, foul.
egregious. It's
You know,
egregious.
like LeBron James is the king of that shit right now.
yo, this
Brunson
dude
threw
Uh-huh.
hitting
himself
on
on the floor.
Brunson.
What
That
else
dude
Brunson
is
is
threw himself
bugging.
on the
set? The
floor
missed
when
goaltender
Halliburton
call in the
tapped him
game
last
one.
game, bro. It's egregious, bro.
Nah, man. Nah.
I could go
See,
pull up
like the
clips.
team got to
I
bring
could
it
pull
Team
depth
up
because
got
he
the
clips.
talking that
ring of
BS.
death.
I could pull up the clips.
Yo, you like to hate, so I get it. I get it. Yo, bro, let me tell you. You know, the way he talking the same way he try to be if we playing ball real life. He want to be aggressive and do that. Then when I give him that hang, then it's like, oh, yo. It's like, nah.
Yo, he
When
called
I'm mad, when
foul.
you want to be aggressive, play D, then it's like when I do it back and I'm there, then people want
Cut
to get
it out,
upset because
bro.
I'm
Cut
like
it
that.
out. Cut it
If you
out.
want to
Cut
be a
it
pit
out, bro.
bull, if you want to be a
Cut
pit
it.
bull
Cut it
and
out,
jump in the
bro. Cut it
cage
out.
with them
Cut it out.
dogs, then that's
Cut
what
it out.
happens. It's the same. Like I
Cause you
told you,
know how I
it's the
get
same
down.
way when we
Cause you
play.
know I get busy. Cut it out. Cause you know I get busy. And last time you played, you was on my team, and who brought us home? Last time we
Yo,
played together, you was on my team, and who brought us?
yo, 10, you like to be aggressive. The thing about it is that when you play basketball, if you could play, it's like if you capable of playing a lot of ways, boom. So I can get on the court and I don't gotta shoot 15 shots. Niggas know I'm there because I could dime the place, defend, get up and down. Then, like I'm
Hey,
a
10, when you
all
talk
around
ball with
player,
my
a
brother,
all around
he just,
player.
he just
10,
go
like
on the
yo,
deep end. So
nah,
Yo,
no,
that's what he's
no,
doing.
nah. But
And
like, think about it, 10.
he's going
If
fast.
you was guarding me, and they was like, and they like, yo, man, bust his ass. You getting cooked, bro. I'm gonna get buckets on you. But if I'm just playing ball, I'm playing. I'm letting it come to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Cause we've been
Come
in battles.
on.
We've been in battles at the
We
fitness
did.
connection.
We
We've been in
did. We
battles, bro. You
did.
talking crazy
I'm
like
not,
I
so
don't cook you.
I'm not talking
what's
crazy.
the
You
I
are
just said,
talking crazy
I
like
just
I don't cook you.
uh-oh.
Like what are you
cook
talking
me.
about?
Cook
Yes,
me. We
yes,
had
What
battles.
yes.
Cooked? Nah.
what's the head to head? What's the
Cooked?
head to head matchup
Nah.
count?
The
Who
head to
Battles?
got the
head,
head to head
Yeah.
matchup when y'all on
Cooked?
opposing
No.
teams?
the head matchup is the way he's talking. You would think that he's blowing me out. Nah, the head to head matchup
Nah.
is close. I'm gonna keep it real, and I don't know who has the edge. But don't so
Fair
don't
enough.
act like I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it 100. I can't
Can't.
sit here and honestly say I got the edge. But I know that when we matched up and we playing, I'm getting my buckets. I'm
Uh-huh.
getting my buckets. I'm
And,
getting my game winners. I'm
Uh-huh.
playing my defense. I'm
and
doing
this,
my thing,
okay.
bro.
Okay. And mind you, bro, I never said he didn't do his thing. But he's like who brung us home because you shooting the ball. But that's why I said if I was focused on
Oh,
scoring, you gotta listen to what I'm saying. And don't act emotional with what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If I shot the ball as much as you, it'll be like, oh yeah, but and that's not how I play. But if I want to play like that, that's the point I'm making. I'm able to do different
I don't
things.
always play
That's
like
what I'm
that
saying.
though. I don't always play like that. The
Y'all,
team we had
y'all gotta
constructed,
play.
We couldn't get anything. We couldn't get
Hey, yo,
any
Nelson,
offense
you see
going.
this shit, Nelson? We supposed to be talking about some NBA shit. These guys got any bravado.
Nah,
Just
we could be talking about the game,
talking
but
about
he competitive, so he like to, he like to do his 1-2. I
Wait,
gotta say my
but yo,
1-2.
listen, I want to get to that point that Nelson made. He said, how the refs favoring the Knicks when their stars are in foul trouble every game. That don't make any sense.
Yeah,
What
Tim,
you
you
got to say
speak to
about that,
that.
Tim?
You
They're
speak to
getting
that.
calls. They're getting calls that ain't even real calls though. If your star is really fouling, your star is really fouling. But they getting make believe calls. There was a call last. There was a call last game where Halliburton didn't even touch it. It's a couple calls every game where these guys is getting unscathed, untouched, and they're getting foul calls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just it's some BS bailout calls, yo. They went on it. There was a span of runs in that last game in like the third quarter that closed the gap for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm now saying,
But
and
that's the
I feel
Pacers,
like
though.
it's
He asked about the
possible.
Knicks players.
Now, I'm talking about the Knicks players, bro. Brunson be getting some BS foul calls, bro. Karl Anthony Towns be taking layups, getting foul calls, slapping people's arms. There was a call. There was a call this last game where Siakam went straight up and blocked. I think it was Deuce McBride went straight up, blocked Deuce McBride. They call a foul.
Mm-hmm. But I think, all in all, in the NBA, when watching the NBA, man, a
Yeah,
lot of players, especially superstar players, we all know, we all watch the games. These refs just call they call a lot of dumb shit and they miss a lot of obvious calls. That's the best way I could put it. They call a lot of dumb shit and miss a lot of obvious calls. Because you be looking like, how the hell you missed that? But then they'll call like that. You're like, why the fuck you call that? So I just think that it's fair across every team and how these refs ref the basketball game.
You think
Like
it's
your
fair for the
team is going
Thunder?
to get calls or not. Your team going to get calls or not. My team, we just going to be frustrated with the refs through watching basketball throughout because that's how the refs in the game is played now, in my
Do you
opinion.
you think it's fair with the Oklahoma City Thunder? You think that the way the refereed is fair?
Nah, and refs, because refs are human beings too. Refs have their own talks, right? So they probably go in these games, man. Listen, we're gonna call it like this game. We ain't gonna give these niggas half these calls. We want this, that. So we know internally refs have these conversations. And it
Yeah.
shows when watching a basketball game, we're like, bro, how the fuck they call that? Oh, bro, how the fuck they missed that? You know what I mean? So it's a lot of calls that the refs don't make and a lot of calls that the refs do make. So in your case, when you asked me that question, Shai Gilgeous, he gets a lot of fucking calls. He gets a lot of calls, a lot of ticky-tack calls. And then sometimes he gets calls that don't be called to him. So, but if you're that superstar player, you're going to get the calls, obviously. You're
Do
going to
you
get the
feel
calls. So,
do you feel like the last series they were letting they were like I feel like they let the Thunder play real physical defense. Do you feel like they were letting the lot go with Caruso on Jokic the last series?
I mean, they let a lot go with Caruso and Ant-Man in this series. Like they played full court half of the time or half court press
Press,
a lot of
yeah.
times, and they all up on them. So a lot of times you're looking at the Thunder team; they are the best defensive team in the NBA. So refs are looking like that. Like I'm gonna let these guys play D. That's what they known for. Let them play their D. So it's up to the offensive players and they coaches and stuff to come up with schemes to alleviate that. Okay, let me give me more screens. Let me get more down screens. Let me get more top screen. Let me get more pick and roll. So, it goes both ways. So I can't really say like none of my teams is in it. So I can't be like, yo, yo. But in watching the games, it's like, yo, refs gonna miss calls, they're gonna make calls. That's what they're gonna do.
I know I'm biased in that sense, and I've always felt like because we're a small market team that we don't really get the love. We don't get love from anything. We don't get love from the analysts. We don't get love from the rest.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't get
that's
no
true.
love. So
That's true.
that's why I've always felt like that. Even going back to those series against the Heat
Mm-hmm.
and playing LeBron and shit like that. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah,
the way I feel. Listen, I mean, like a ongoing thing to me and shit. But shit.
Mm-hmm.
got you.
Yeah.
I'm about
So,
to lock in on this.
all right,
All right, y'all. All
bro.
right, Ted.
All right,
Yo, Mel, we balling tomorrow.
yo, I hit me.
All right.
I got to work though. Man,
Okay.
I can't make. I got to work.
True. All
All
right.
right.
holler at you, though.
Maybe.
Yo. Y'all be
All
safe,
right.
yo.
All right, Tim.
Appreciate y'all.
Too,
You
bro.
too. All right. But
My
so yeah,
man,
I mean,
10.
shout out to 10. That's my dude. We always get into it like that. But even with on that note though, like as far as definition of a superstar, I mean, talking about superstar coach. So, all right, in your opinion, or what do you a definition of a superstar?
I think like for a superstar, in my unbiased opinion, I mean you
Yeah.
gotta have at least one MVP. You gotta have a couple of couple of all stars, couple of all NBAs, and I'm not talking about just second team. Like these got to be first team all NBA selections. You gotta have a lot of playoff and moments. You gotta have a lot of moments in regular season and playoffs. You gotta win chips. That's
Yeah.
how you become a superstar.
Okay.
So and they
Let
had
me
this debate on.
let me just pause you just on the chip part. Charles
Well, you don't
Barkley,
necessarily need chips
Allen
to be a
Iverson. That's why
superstar.
I want
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
why keep going, but I
yeah,
just want
yeah.
to throw that.
Yeah, I
Patrick
mean that
Ewing.
helps in the
Okay.
case, that okay, so that superstar legend status would give you like
All
your
right.
chips and stuff.
Okay.
But
Okay. I wanna.
superstars,
Okay. I
yeah, you don't
wanna.
need no
Yeah.
chip to be a superstar
Okay.
because Carmelo Anthony is a superstar Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's a legend. I mean, he ain't win no chips, right?
Yeah.
But just those things, those accolades, in my unbiased opinion, you need those in order really to be considered, a superstar player. Because they was talking about this on First Take. They was like, I think they said was comparing like Halliburton to Anthony Edwards. They were
Yeah.
saying, well, Anthony Edwards
And
is a
even like a Jalen
superstar.
Brunson, I saw
Yeah.
that when they was comparing like if Halliburton was on the Knicks
Mm-hmm.
and Jalen Brunson, like would he be a superstar? And Stephen A was like, no, and I'm like, yeah, like Halliburton is dope, but
Mm-hmm.
superstar he is not.
Yeah, he's not a
Jalen
superstar.
Brunson, the reason why I think some people will put him as superstar or some won't is because he's playing and where you play at does matter depending on the type of player you are. And I'll say that because, for example, Carmelo Anthony was in Denver, but he's that. It don't matter where he at. For Knicks, Denver don't matter. Like for example, like Brunson, what he's doing in New York, three in the playoffs. I think people not understanding that. We not calling like people not saying he might be a superstar because like he had a good season. No, in the playoffs, come on. I think people not understanding Brunson is putting up certain performances, playoffs, crunch time, when it matters, big markets, like all of that combined. You can't deny that. That's what made Kawhi
Does that
Leonard.
make him a superstar though? No.
I think that he's on the cusp. Like if he could get to the finals, then it's like, it's kind of hard to deny. It's like I feel like he's on the cusp. Like I feel like Brunson is like on the cusp.
Yeah, I
I feel
mean,
like he's on the cusp.
I think if the Knicks get to the finals, right, I still won't consider Brunson a superstar, albeit all the things that he did, clutch player of the year award this year.
Yeah.
But again, you still is a lot that comes with being a superstar, right? You gotta have first of all, you gotta have a lot of individual accolades. You gotta have some MVP.
You need the individual accolades for sure.
Yeah, you gotta have a couple of those, in order to be considered a superstar. He's a star, yes. Halliburton
definitely.
is a star, yes.
Yes.
But a superstar, it takes a lot more to get there. Like right now, a superstar, I would say right now is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's a superstar right now.
Could he have a signature shoe? See, Shai, how do you pronounce his name properly? See, he got the MVP, so I feel like he's getting those individual accolades. So it's like he's a superstar because of what he's achieving.
And he got a scoring title.
He got a scoring title, but he don't have that aura like for example, right? Like, all right, superstar. Like, if mommy know you, you a superstar.
If who?
Like I said, if I'm using mommy as if mommy know you, you a superstar.
Oh, right.
Like if you known without people having to watch the game, that's it. That's that like they're like like you one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that. Like it be little things like that. I think that helps with contribute to superstar too. Like you're known,
right?
You seen, you visible. So I think it's a lot of things that attribute to it. When we thinking about like Allen Iverson's a superstar. Think about prime time. Kobe Bryant. Before they even won chips, it's like Kobe. It's like people didn't want to probably come out and be like, "Yo, he's a superstar," because they didn't win a chip yet. He wasn't averaging 25, but Kobe's in the McDonald's. He's making the youngest all.
He was ascending to that status.
But I'm saying though. But people probably wouldn't have wanted to just outright just give him his flowers because before they won the chip, I'm saying. Or even before the 01 season when he was averaging 29. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he's doing all these little things, but it's like, and he's visible, he's seen, he's busting penny ass, Scottie Pippen, they going to the play. It's like, but then it's like, okay, but now he averaging 29, they got a chip, Kobe's a superstar now. But my thing is like, I feel like he was a superstar before that.
I think Kobe became a superstar, honestly, when he won his first chip.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In 99, 2000.
That's when he became.
But I feel like people didn't want to. I think in 2001 when he was averaging the 29 and stuff, that's when it was like wanted to fully give it to him. I feel like at that point.
Right.
That's the point I was making though. That you kind of like it's like, but I feel like he might have reached that before that season.
Right.
But it's like it's like T-Mac didn't become a superstar till he went to Orlando, for example.
Yeah.
And started got his kicks and started doing his thing. So I feel like if we comparing it how superstars was back in the day, NBA, so we used to see them. They would have the individual acting, but we used to see them. So I think that the being visible part of stuff is getting lost.
I think to that part, right? Because obviously there's levels, right? So you come into the league, you come into a league, you're a rising star, right? So it's like you come in, you're a rising star, then you a star, then you a superstar, then you a legend.
Well, wouldn't the all-star come before superstar?
Oh, yeah. So my bad. So you're a rising star, you a star. Well, no, all-star is like that's like a thing given to the stars. Like to
OKC,
the all-star game.
The second best player on OKC. He made the all-star team.
Yeah, he made the all-star team, but I don't consider what you talking about Jalen Williams? Yeah. I mean, I won't consider him a star though. Like I won't consider him a star, even though he made the all-star team based on their team success and the numbers, because obviously that's how he made the all-star team, right? Like Draymond Green. Motherfucker wasn't an all-star when he made it. He just made it an all-star because of his team success, right? So Jalen Williams is not an all-star. He's just I don't think he's a star player. He's just a good player right now. He's a rising star. So that's why I say it's levels. You got rising star, then you got star, then you got superstar, then you got legend, then after that is an icon, right? So right now you got, Anthony Edwards, he's a star, right? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a star. Brunson, star. Halliburton, rising star. I won't say he's a star yet, but he's a rising star. If he beat the Knicks and go to the finals, okay, you might say he's a star, right? So that's the level that I put it at. There's a lot of rising stars right now. Like Luka Doncic he's a superstar. LeBron James still a superstar. Jokic a superstar. Steph Curry, he's a legend. I'm sorry, LeBron James legend, Steph Curry legend. These guys are in the legend status. After they retire, then icons, right? So that's the tier level that I put them at. So that's how I look at it as far as what these guys are. So, Anthony Edwards is to go back to the point, like these superstars and shit like that. I just think that Anthony Edwards, he's not a superstar yet. He's a star player. He's not a superstar yet. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and that's a strong point that you made where, like, if mommy know you, then you're a superstar because that means you were renowned. That means after, because when Jordan first played, she wouldn't know Jordan in his playing time unless after he retired. And then, because Jordan was just like icon. He just transcend basketball. So that's the GOAT. We can't even put Jordan in this conversation.
It's few people, right? Jordan, we'll use mommy as an example, made mommy watch. Him.
He's the GOAT. We're going to leave Jordan out of this.
So look at this. That's why I said before Steph Curry got the now, this is right after the Clippers owner with the racist remarks, right? Remember they didn't want to play the series because of it? Remember they came back? Yo, I was watching a game. Mommy heard me being hyped. I'm like, oh. I was in the room watching it. So she's like, yo, why I'm all hyped? Steph Curry made 1-3, 2-3, right? This is this is like before the championship. Yo, mommy was looking at it, like, he made her watch. From then, yo, Steph Curry, when he played, that's what it's some special people like that. It's like, nah, yo, no, I don't care. When he playing, very few people like that. Very few people.
But the game has changed, from even when Steph Curry played until now, how the game is watched and played and viewed. A lot of people are turned off from the NBA because of how the game is played now, with all these 3-pointers being shot, So, that goes into account as well. But again, these guys, there's a lot of rising stars, a lot of stars. Superstars right now is far few in between right now. There's not a lot of superstars. So I just think they throw that word out loosely when they see a guy doing this thing. Oh, he's a superstar. Nah, levels. Rising star, all-star, legend, icon. So, they leave it like that.
And there's some guys who should be considered, superstars, but ain't, like the Tatums of the world. They got all the accolades and stuff, but like you said,
Yeah.
And I will say, just segueing also, like, this was fun when I saw this one. Top playoff performances. It's so many to choose from. I'm not gonna lie, like, there's a lot. But it's like when I was thinking about mine, I didn't want to choose like some obvious, like, Mike and this. But off the top though, if I'm just like off the top, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's so many, but I got a bunch in my head that I could, like, I'm not gonna lie. LeBron with the 25 straight on Detroit, that game was legendary.
That was legendary. I kind of figured.
And then his game 6 against Boston. That might be LeBron's best game ever. With the demon eyes, he went crazy on him. I got Charles Barkley game 7 against Seattle, 93, 44 and 24.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's nasty work.
Sean Kemp, like, you feel me? Even Charles Barkley 56 against the Warriors. Chris Silver was tight because he dunked on him. He said, "Word."
That's why you're the historian.
Nah, like, it's like it's a bunch of It's like, I didn't want to choose obvious.
The Bucks.
My man,
that was tough.
And my man Isaiah Thomas with the 50 ball after his sister died.
That was tough.
And yo. I thought about. I sent it to the big. You seen the video? I said, when Patrick Ewing eliminated the Bulls, he was like, "Yard man." I like Patrick Ewing was out here, Frank.
He was happy Mike wasn't there.
Yeah, he was like, "Yard man."
We beat the Bulls, no Mike.
He was hype. Think about it. I ain't even see him not hype when they went to the finals. When they beat Indiana, he was more hype when they beat the Bulls. That's why it was so funny because I'm like, he hype. He's hype right now.
This is why Mike is the GOAT. We gotta leave Mike. Just leave Mike alone, man. Mike is in a different stratosphere. But I got a couple more.
Go ahead. I'm gonna give you the floor. Some shout out. Vince Carter with the 50 pizzas against Philly with the 8 threes in the first half. That was crazy. My man AI with the 50 pieces for him.
With the 50 piece, yep.
But my favorite AI one though, I'm not gonna lie, and then I'm gonna give it to you. These is not the greatest ones either. I just wanted to show love on some not so obvious ones. Outside of the LeBron ones, it probably was obvious for me, but Iverson 55 against the Hornets in the first round. 55 on them. Against Diddy and them. That was that was so tough.
Yeah. You named a lot of them. I think the Braun one against the Detroit Pistons, when he scored what was 25 straight.
Yeah.
That was because of they played. you know,
and he was young too.
Yeah, and Pistons was the dogs.
Major.
But if I was to pick one, and I was looking through a list and all those was notables, and I'm like, yo, I forgot about that one. Magic Johnson winning the chip as a rookie. As a rookie. Yeah. And to play as a rookie, like, there's no other rookie. Yeah. Like, you came in as a rookie.
Yeah.
To win an NBA champ.
And Kareem was injured.
It was injured. He had to put him at center.
Yeah, I think that was fire.
I think if you talk about like top playoff performances of all time, that gotta be for me. That gotta be.
Oh yeah, nah.
Because he was
ain't no debating that. Ain't no debating that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't nobody have a problem with that.
Yeah, because he was a rookie. But shout out to Bron though. Bron, even when in the I'm talking about the whole final series against, what was it, 2016 Bron? Against that, they was like that was the best Bron.
Yeah,
like he was the
playoff run was.
Yeah, that playoff Bron, he was amazing. I think they were saying they lost. Warriors beat them.
It wasn't 16 then. Huh? But I know that season it wasn't 16 because that's when they beat the Warriors.
Yeah, no.
It might have been
Warriors beat them. Warriors beat them, but they was like, yo, Bron should have won Finals MVP even though he lost the series.
Yeah, I'm saying like it wasn't 16 though. I'm saying, I know what you're referring to, yeah, but it wasn't 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yo, that Bron, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, yo, he was a monster that year. Like, I can't remember the year, but yo, Bron, he like, I ain't gonna lie, like I got a disdain for Bron. The only reason why I got a disdain for Bron is because they try to put him over my man Kobe, which I feel is unjust. And he thrust himself into the GOAT conversation, which Michael Jordan was my all-time favorite player, KD, those guys. But LeBron is one hell of a basketball player. He has a lot of series where he was looking like, yo, this guy's a machine. He's unstoppable. You know, so I gotta give him his props. I'm gonna hate on Bron, but I'm not like unbiased to what he does. He's a great basketball player. But top playoff performances, I gotta give it to Magic as a rookie, jumping at center, playing center, having 42 and leading the Lakers to championship. That's phenomenal as a rookie. As a rookie. And there's a story about that too, like that I had that he wasn't. I'll look it up, but he wasn't even supposed to be on the Lakers. He came through the Lakers from a draft pick, and they ended up getting that pick and getting it was crazy. I was like, oh shit, that's a crazy story. But yeah, man, shout out to Magic Johnson. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely.
What we got next?
Let
me see what
the 2000
29-31 Knicks.
Yeah.
Knicks is going about
16-17 Warriors or the 0-1 Lakers. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I am taking the 0-1 Lakers.
Bro, I was going to say the same thing.
Simple fact, yo, Tim Duncan swept, Chris Webber, Sacramento swept. I think they beat the Blazers in that first round. Swept. And AI, if it wasn't AI, Philly would have been swept. So they dominated.
So
bottom line.
I want to run through this record. I'm going to give you back the floor, right? So, and mind you, it was Lakers were 15-1 in 2001, and Golden State was 16-1 in 2016-17. So you ask, some people may ask, well, how come? Because in Lakers series with Portland, it was a best of 5. So it wasn't a best of 5.
They just changed that some odd years ago to every round being the best of 7.
The 7. So this is why Lakers were 15-1, and they say, well, Warriors beat them because they got 16-1. We're going to X that out because it was a best of 5 back in.
And I missed I missed it being 5-7-7.
It was more competitive. So I'm going to go based off, I wrote it down. I'm going to go based off of the teams that Lakers beat and the teams that Warriors beat, and I give it back to you, Mal. So the Lakers in their run, in the first round, they beat who was it?
Blazers, right?
The Blazers. And there was a 50-win team. It was 50-32. Second round, they beat the Kings, 55-27. Third round, they beat the Spurs, 58-24. In the finals, they beat the Sixers, who was 56-26. So they beat all 50-win plus teams, plus almost a 60-win plus team in the Spurs to win the NBA championship. Now, Warriors.
And
first round, they played Portland.
56-26 themselves.
Oh, my bad, bro, my bad. Okay, I'm up again. So Warriors, the first round they played Portland. They was 41-41, 500 team. Second round they played the Jazz. Jazz was 51-31. Third round they played the Spurs, 61-21. In the finals they beat the Cavs, 51-31. The Lakers had a tougher record with teams with better records to the championship than the Golden State Warriors. So I'm going to give it to the Lakers based off the caliber of teams that they had to play with the records that they had to play. I'm going to give it to the Lakers.
And then let me ask one more question, right? What was the Warriors record? Because the Lakers were 56-26 themselves.
Okay.
What was the Warriors record?
The Warriors record? Good question. Good question.
Because that's another thing, too.
So
the Lakers, the Spurs was the number 1 seed in the NBA.
Yeah, so the Lakers record in that
the Lakers were 56-26 in 01. I remember
56
that. But the Warriors, the Warriors record though in 16 and 17. What was their record?
Warriors, let's see, that was 2017.
The
Warriors
2016-2017 Warriors
record was, hold on, they were, shit, what was their record? Damn, that was a good question. Hold on. Golden State Warriors. Oh, here you go. League champion Golden State Warriors, 2017. They were 67-15. They finished first in the NBA Western Conference.
So the Warriors should have with Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Yes.
The Lakers was going through turmoil, injuries. Shaq was out. Then Kobe got hurt. They wasn't getting along. People didn't think they was going to be able to fix it up in time. Repeat.
Yep.
And then they swept everybody.
And it's crazy.
And they wasn't the number 1 team.
And it's crazy because Shaq talked about that. He was like, yo, you know, we had to, like you said, him and Kobe was at odds. They was like, yo, so they came together. It was like, yo, listen, all right, we're going to do this playoffs. Let's just patch up what we got to go through and get to the playoffs. And look what they did. They ran through everybody. And these were guys. Let me look at let's look at the Portland Trailblazers. No. Was it okay, look at the Portland Trailblazers that they beat 3-0 in 18.
Pippen,
They had
Wallace, Bonzi Wells, Damon Stoudemire,
Sabonis, Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, Damon, Rod, Rasheed, Bonzi, yep. Sean Kemp was even on there, even though he played Sean Kemp, Gary Grant, Dale Davis. Let's go to the team that I want to look at that we already know who the Sixers were, but I want to look at that.
The Sacramento. This is before they traded for Mike Bibby. This is the year before they traded for Mike Bibby.